Good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna break down how I approached the market this morning and my thought process behind it. Okay. So start off here at 8:30. We had this really big move. So this was actually from PPI, which is a red folder news event, and it came out worse than expected, which was actually really bad. Um, the numbers were terrible. So that immediately causes this to happen. Okay. Because this isn't like people sitting here doing this, right? This is a robot doing this. Okay. People with a lot of money and like robots, right, are causing these because you're not causing this with your moves. The orders you placed, it ain't nothing. That's a fart in the wind. Okay. This is a lot of money being moved right here. So these imbalances are super important to be aware of. Okay. So that's the first thing that I noticed this morning. I'm gonna draw that out real quick. Does that make sense? This gap. Let's draw this. 15-minute gap. Okay. I'm on the 15-minute time frame. This gap was made. These candles are closed, and this thing is still sitting here, and nothing has came into it yet. So it's unmitigated. Okay. So I'm waiting for that thing. Honestly, So I was in Discord this morning with my community, and we were watching this thing just. Let me just play this thing out so you can see what it looks like. Okay. So I'm not looking to go long here because the only target that I have is this, which is the high of that big candle right here, right? Also, do you see this right here? Yeah, this is a good example. So you see how this candle comes all the way up and it sweeps all of these highs? Well, left these, but all these markets or all these orders that you have here, for example, if someone expects this market to go down, oh yeah, here we go, I'll just leave that. That's what people do. Put their stop loss in. Okay. So then when the market comes up and it manipulates that price, it triggers all those orders. Okay. So that's what we're waiting for out of a key area like this Asia high. Okay. So this was at 8 o'clock last night, and this was the height of the Asian trading session, which is, I have it marked on here. You guys can copy these settings if you want to. I find it really helpful because it helps me so I don't have to go in and mark this thing out every morning because, oh man, it just gets kind of annoying sometimes. So this is a lot easier for me. So if you see these red and blue lines, that's what those are. Red, Asia, blue, London, okay? And those are key targets for me. So when the market opens up and we've already swept everything, bro, I don't really have anything to like pick, man. Like the only thing I have is this or lower. So we'd have a lot of draws lower. So things like this, just lows hanging out here, lots of orders resting here. Okay. So yeah, we want to get involved in that fast price action. We're not interested in being a mall cop today, guys. Okay. It's Thursday. Okay, let's see. Here we go. This was sketchy to me, honestly. I know a lot of people who took a short right here. So by that, I mean this gap right here, it flipped. Okay. You see this gap? Let me move it back so that make sure everybody's following along with this if you are. Okay. So you see how it opens up right here and it just goes up. It doesn't come down here into this area of this candle right here. And it leaves this like belly of the candle open, right? It hasn't been touched. And this is an imbalance in the market. Okay. I'm seeking higher prices here. But I'm not looking to trade this right now because where are we? We're inside of a 15-minute gap right here, okay? Which I explained earlier, I think. So yeah, we do have this draw right here. I wasn't looking to get involved in this because I mean, this is the 9:30 open, and here's 9:45, right? So I'm not looking to take a trade until about 9:45 most of the time, because you avoid a lot of chop kind of like this, and you get caught up sometimes. That's what I found works best for me. Okay. You can do what works for you. That's just what I do. Okay. So this is the FVG right here that got flipped from earlier. Okay. So here we go. But then, you might not notice this, but you see how we inverted it? Right? So we came down, we closed below this gap right here. And this 1 minute gap right here. This one, you don't really need to be worried about. I just have it drawn for reference, okay? So that way, people can start to understand these boxes, okay? Because it might look silly, but I'm not looking to take this market any lower, bro. Like, this is terrible, okay? But I didn't see this at the time, but we did have a 1 hour FVG above. Okay, so this is all-time high right here. So this was yesterday at 9, okay? All-time high. Well, here. 940 all-time high, okay, on the 5-minute chart. Yesterday. Wait. Yeah, okay. So I'm waiting for this 15-minute to flip. Okay. It doesn't flip. We're still inside this 15-minute candle. So I'm waiting for that thing to close, okay? To see like some real guidance, because I'm not buying this, okay? So let's see what happens. Okay, let me draw some things out here just so you guys can understand what I was seeing. So this is a 5-minute gap as well. So this is a bullish gap. So I expect if the price comes back into it, then I expect that we'll head higher, because it's a strong support level, okay? For my strategy. We don't get that. And remember, we still have this gap below, which is also a 15-minute gap. So if you have a gap that is a 15-minute gap and you have a 5-minute, you always want to pick the 5-minute or the 15-minute, because the higher time frame is always going to give you better guidance, okay? And we'll get into an example of that also, because it happened today. Okay, so I'm watching this. I'm not looking for shorts here. Where am I going to target? This is no man's land. Like, why am I going to try and go short and take the price into here, into this bullish imbalance right here? Can you guys see this? See that gap? Okay. These things are really easy to spot once you've done it a lot. So don't feel bad if you don't see them, and if you're interested in learning. Okay. So here's what I saw. Let me actually delete this. Okay. The reason I wasn't taking shorts here, there's a higher time frame narrative because of this move, but 9 out of 10 times for me, I'm not looking to short this market and try and take it lower, especially into these huge levels like this that this price can easily just bounce out of. So why would I try and, for me, I didn't want to do this, okay? It didn't meet my strategy. A lot of other people did it and it worked, okay? That doesn't mean that it's going to work all the time, or that I'm right, or that anybody else is right. There's no right way to do this. This is strictly based off of what I've seen happen, okay? And what works for me. So back to earlier, okay? So we came up, we teased this high, the data wick, from 8:30, remember? Okay? So I'll mark this data wick high, just so you guys can see this. this is a liquidity tool for me. A lot of orders resting right here, waiting for the price to come up into it. So that way these orders can get executed, and then the price can move either down, up, whatever way, you know, that it wants to, right? You can never predict the market. You can always just react to it. Okay. So we got this 1 minute inverse right here, but pay attention here. Yeah, it is a gap right here. Okay. So you see this gap, obviously. I mean, not obviously, maybe you didn't see that, but don't feel bad. Okay. So here's, but then there's another gap that lines up with it. You see this gap right here? That's what I call a balanced price range. Okay. So this becomes stronger than a regular fair value gap for me, because we like flip that thing aggressively, no problem. You know, you expect this thing to hold if you're bullish, but if you're bearish, this thing flipping, that's a really good sign if you're looking to short this market. Okay. I didn't short this market. I didn't take anything. But yeah, I'm gonna draw that out. Balanced price range. Okay. It's a very strong level of either support or resistance. Okay. So if we come up into it, we're gonna have a hard time getting through it most likely. But then once we go through it, it's no longer an issue. And then we can wait for our setup and take this thing into the eye. That doesn't happen for me. Okay. So let's just keep on playing this. So I believe this thing came melting down quite a bit. But remember, we have this 15-minute gap below us, which is a bullish gap. And if we're bullish, we want to see the price bounce out of this thing. We don't want to see this thing get ran through, right? If we're trying to take this thing higher. If we think the price is going to go up, we don't want to see this thing get disrespected. We want to see this price come in, respect this, and then make some sort of move right here that gives you the confidence you need to enter. Okay. So you can take it up higher, or if this flips, taking it lower, right? These tell the story for where the price wants to go more often than not, and it's a very big part of how I trade. Okay. So we're looking here. What does this look like to you guys right here? I don't even need to say it. Okay. So when we get a big spring up, I mean, yeah, it's strong, but this level right here, I wasn't willing to try and trade into this thing, bro. Okay. This is just a thing because I've tried it before. I've seen it happen, and I'd rather avoid this situation. Okay. And the situation I'm talking about is this market comes up right here, and you're watching this, and you're like, I think it's going to come here, right? Boom. So you target the high, but like, if you're wrong, where's your stop going to be? That's the thing. You got all these gaps right here, and this market has every right to come back and jab into all these gaps before actually moving. So that's what you got to be careful about. Okay. So when you're taking these trades, you want to make sure that your stop loss is in a safe spot. Okay. Here we go. See the way this thing is rejecting this right here? This tells me there's no way that I'm going to risk my money that it's going to go up here. This isn't worth the risk for me. I'd rather wait for something clean. Okay. So it does end up working, and we do end up taking it, but there's no way I feel comfortable getting involved in this move. Okay. Because the risk to reward is just not there for me. I'm always targeting 1 to 2. So I'm risking whatever, $100 to make $200. That's what I'm always targeting. So that looks something like this. Okay. I'm just going to give you an example of what the long position tool is going to look like. This tool over here, long position. This is if you expect the price to go up. The short position is if you expect the price to go down. Long position tool, I expect the price to go right here. Okay. I'm just shadowing this right now. I'm not actually doing this. I didn't do this with my own money, okay? So where's the point that you're willing to be wrong at here? There really is no safe spot to put this stop loss, okay? And if you do, it's going to be way down here. And for me, it's not worth it. I'm targeting 2R. So I'm risking, so you see on here, risk to reward ratio, 1.09. You want, for me, I like it to be around 1 to 2, okay, ideally. So this target is not good enough for me. Unless I put my stop loss right here. But then I'd be gambling, honestly. And because of this, no, dude, I'm not taking this. So I faded that whole move. Missed that. I mean, it's fine. It happens all the time. I'd rather... Hold on, let me actually... Okay, so this was the 1 hour FVG I was talking about that a lot of people shorted. So this thing came down, flipped out of this 1 hour gap. I want you guys to see this, okay? 1 hour FVG. Right here. This exposed little, like, belly, kind of, okay? So we come up, we completely fill this thing. So the price comes all the way up to the top of this gap. So we're filling that gap, and then, here we go. Let's see. So I know a lot of people who shorted this, and it wasn't worth it for me, but here we go. The reason I didn't do it is because of this 30-minute gap, okay? I would have rather traded out of this gap than trying to trade into it. Okay, so it's marked as a 15-minute on here, so I'm going to change it to 30-minute, okay? So this is the gap. And people were shorting into this, and I don't know, I couldn't get behind it personally, okay? So here we get what I was really waiting for, was this 30-minute gap from earlier, if you remember. So this is the open, 9:30, right here. Let me mark it. This was today, right? Oh, yep. Here we go. So this was the open. See how we came down? Look at this gap. We wicked into this thing, and then we moved straight up, bro. And we flipped this thing. So for me, I'm not looking for shorts here. I'm looking for longs because this bearish thing just got completely disrespected. Price completely ran that thing's pockets. But then it also wicked up here into this 1 hour FVG, which is something I didn't see, honestly. And I don't want to trade out of gaps like that in no man's land. That's just what I prefer to do. Okay, so here we go. We're in this 30-minute gap now, which is also, so this is a fair value gap right here, obviously. Does that make sense? And now we have a fair value gap right here too, which got disrespected. So this is a bearish level, okay? And this got disrespected because this market closed above it. See this? This is what I'm talking about, this line. Here, let me make it right here. See how we closed above this? This will be the top of the box. We closed above this right here. So we disrespected that. I'm not looking for shorts here. I'm looking for a pullback into this gap. And yeah, it's kind of boring. You're sitting there watching this thing all day. You know, it's getting late. I only trade until 12. Okay, so I'm waiting for a reaction out of here. And if we don't get it, I'm more than happy with just getting off the computer. So here we go. This looks familiar, doesn't it? Where have we seen this before? I'm not touching it. Here we go. We get a super strong move. Okay. And now, for these... Okay, so this is what I explained in a different channel. This is a breaker block. It's not really the cleanest, but... I mean, ideally you'd want to see it'd be a little bit cleaner. But this one, I was fine with marking this one out because it was inside of this 30-minute gap. But if this was in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't even trust this, okay? So if you know anything about what I've been talking about, gaps, what do we see here inside this gap? Or inside this breaker on this leg? I want you to identify what I'm looking at right now without me telling you. On this leg. Okay? These gaps. Okay? See these huge holes right here? This is what we're waiting for in this breaker, okay? So it's just a name for a candlestick pattern. I really have a good win rate with these things. I really do like them. So when they play out, they really do tend to work very well. So this is what I would call a unicorn breaker, okay? Here, let me show you. Unicorn. So this is an actual thing, and it's actually called this by the dude who teaches it. His name's Michael Huddleston, Inner Circle Trader. Okay, he came up with this concept. So what makes it a unicorn is when you have a breaker like we have here. Again, this one's not the highest, most probability sexy one. I'll mark up another one after this. But you see this? We got these gaps down here. Okay. So good thing, or good job if you've seen those, okay? You're starting to pick up on it. And trust me, when I started doing this, I was lost in the sauce, bro. Okay. So this move happens. I'm in the Discord still. I'm talking. I'm like, okay, so that move happens out of the breaker block that I just drew. Okay. See this? Breaker block. We're moving out of this breaker block. Okay. 15-minute gap to the left. That we're fighting with this thing. Okay. We're expecting price to push out of here. So we want to see this thing get flipped. Like, this thing needs to get disrespected, or else I'm not interested, okay, in touching this. So this is a 15-minute gap. I'll draw that out. See how this stuff comes together? It might look a little bit confusing. I don't want to leave anything out, okay? So I'm waiting for this FVG. This is how I drew it. I'm waiting for an entry. I'm sold, okay? I'm ready to take a long. Sorry, my keyboard. Okay. So I'm waiting for this market to pull back, because if I get involved right here, that's just silly, bro. So I'm waiting. Oh, so with these unicorn breakers, they have FVGs in them. I'm sorry, I might have forgot to mention that. So what makes it a unicorn is that it's a breaker, and it has this unicorn, FVG right here inside the breaker, okay? So you want to see an FVG on that leg up or leg down, okay? If it was bearish, you would want to see an FVG like this right here, okay? For example. Okay. So these FVGs are super strong, especially paired with this breaker, paired with this 30-minute gap, paired with this 15-minute flip. I'm ready to trade. I'm waiting for this thing. I'm starting to mark out how I'm going to execute this. Here, let me actually delete these. So that way it looks a little bit better. Okay, so you can kind of get a clear picture. So what am I doing here? I'm waiting for this 15-minute gap to flip on the left. Right here. And you got to be aware of all the other time frames. So I'm scrolling through 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute. I see these 5-minute gaps. This was the first clue right here. Okay. So we did flip the 15, but we had a 5-minute gap right here that did not flip. And you'll see what I mean. So this is 11:51. Okay. So this 5-minute candle just closed right here. So we're rejecting this 5-minute. Or, I'm sorry, 15-minute. This is a 15-minute. Well, also is a 5-minute, but since this first 5-minute didn't flip, I'm not interested, okay? That was my first clue. But I was still looking to trade this, to be honest with you. because we had the 15-minute flip. So I'm waiting for a pullback. And I'm not just pressing buy right here, dude. Okay? I'm waiting for the market to come to me. Because I'm not going to chase this price all over the place. I'm waiting for this thing. All right, are you going to give me what I want? Yeah? Okay. I'll risk my money. It doesn't? No point in risking money. All right, here we go. So we do get in here pretty aggressively, too. I was getting ready to pull the trigger on this one, to be honest. So this is how I would have ran this. Stop below the breaker block. This is a very strong level, so you don't really need to run it all the way down here. You can just run it right here in my experience. Okay. Targeting. I had my TP all the way up here. Okay. I had my first TP right here. TP1. I think the stop might have actually been like this. Yeah, it looked a little bit like that. I didn't enter this trade yet. Okay, this is just me framing out how much am I risking. Okay, let's go in here. How much am I risking here? 25 points. Okay. That's cool with me. I'm cool with risking 25 points. I'm not cool with risking 40 points down here. 35 points right here. I'm cool with risking 25 points to 30 points. And if it's more than that, I'll size down. Okay. You have to keep your sizing consistent. So I'm waiting on this thing. We do get it, and it does look really bullish for a second. I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, bro, this thing is looking super good. But I'm waiting for either a 1 minute or 30-second FVG to get put in. 30-minute or fair value gap, okay. I'm waiting for one of those to get put in on this leg. Or even on the 30-second. I was looking at the 30-second time frame. I was willing to take a 30-second flip right here. This is where you have to be patient. Because yeah, we've been sitting here. It's 12 o'clock now. I've been waiting all day for this move. I'm pretty excited. I'm like, damn. This looks good. I start seeing this. I'm like, then you see this candle close. You don't want to see that, okay? This completely invalidates this idea. Okay. So what I'm looking for out of here is for a gap like this and then to flip this thing, but inside, okay? I don't want it to go below here and start closing down here, because that just makes my idea just wrong, okay? I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, obviously, this thing isn't holding, okay? Like I thought it was. So I didn't take it. Simple as that. And now it's 12:16. And I'm off the computer, guys. I'm not sitting here all day waiting to chase this market. Let's look. It does end up dragging higher, but it's not worth the mental toll to sit there and watch this all day and try and get involved in this when I can just come back tomorrow with a fresh brain and look for the next setup. Okay. So, guys, hopefully you liked that video. I'm sorry if it was long. It was just a quick, well, it wasn't very quick, but breakdown of my thought process. I hope it's valuable for somebody. If you guys gained any sort of knowledge out of this, or you appreciate these videos, just let me know. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll answer them. Okay. All right, y'all. Have a good day.